Alrighty. Hello, dudes. Hello. Welcome in, welcome back. Oh my god, so many fucking little lizard dudes. Hey, Teamworm. Hi, Crazy Pants. Hi, Dirk.
Hello.
Oh my god. So, Dirk, when I was starting the stream, like, even when the stream's not live, I can see emotes, like, on OBS, like, over here. And I was doing stuff and then saw an explosion of little lizard guys. He's a dino. He's a dinosaur. Okay. Dino specifically. You were excited. Yeah, no, it's totally fine. I was just like, for a brief moment, I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like something just exploded in the corner of my screen. And then you did more of them. And I was like, oh, I bet it's just Dirk doing the little dancing dino guy. Cool. And also, Teamworm, you copying Dirk's message made me laugh very hard. Also, shit, Teamworm, what did you say? You have an actual comment, an actual thing to say. You and you're bad at reading the boss's attacks. You're still learning behavior trees. Ooh. Not quite the same behavior tree we're talking about, but you were excited. Also, happy birthday. It's not my birthday. My birthday's in a bit. We're not there yet. It's probably close to my stream birthday thing. Oh, it's yours. Oh. Okay. Happy birthday, Dirk. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Holy shit. This is very funny. I'm having a rough time with my arm still hurting, so this is very nice to have a just a silly thing going on. Dirk, if it's actually your birthday, happy birthday. Holy shit. Okay, now I've completely lost any track of what I needed to talk about. Okay, so last week we did behavior tree stuff. And unfortunately, though I planned to do some things and I had time, my arms have been fucking with me. I have a repetitive strain injury. Usually I stay on top of it. Somehow it got away from me. I don't play in Elden Ring on a daily basis, and then I've also been playing Destiny a bunch. And then also Crazy Pants and I play Genshin Impact. They're like, my forearms are like, it's too much. It's too much. You fucking stop. Usually stretching them and getting Crazy Pants to rub my arms is enough to keep them functional. Like, they're always kind of mad at me. They always hurt like a tiny bit, which is probably not good. But they've been like real fucking pissed the last like 2 weeks. It's been fucking annoying. Because you don't realize this until your arms hurt or when you use your hands, but like you use your hands for everything. The things you can't use your hands to do, there's like 2 things I want to do in my life where I don't need my hands. You're sorry. It's okay, Dirk. It's honestly like nobody gets to choose. Like, I don't know. We all have all kinds of health issues and disabilities. Lots of people have it worse than I do. Good luck. Oh my god. Thank you. I need that because what makes this problem worse is a responsible human being could probably do a better job dealing with their problems, but I can't because I'm not a responsible human being. Like, here's an example. I forgot that like smoking weed seems to make my arms hurt, and I had to stop smoking weed because it was irritating my asthma. But then I realized that I found some weed in a jar, and I smoked some of that, and it didn't make my asthma hurt, or my asthma get bad. And I realized like, oh, maybe your asthma's getting so aggravated by smoking weed because you've had the same weed in a grinder for like a year and it's all like dry and gross. So then I started only grinding a small amount of weed from the nice sealed jar. And then like my asthma stopped being a problem. So then I was like, oh great, I can like smoke weed every few days now. Like it's fucking sweet. And then I forgot, like, actually, no, you can't, because that also makes your arms like hurt. I have no idea why. I don't fucking, I have some kind of repetitive strain injury. All the doctors I've seen about it, I've had tests done. They're like, you should just get better. But I don't. So that's fucking annoying. So, you know, like I make my own shit worse than it has to be. Hashtag dry and gross. You're very responsible. You took yesterday off for no reason, and then they released Hades 2 early access and you played for 12 hours. Your face when your asthma hurts. Yeah, I can't talk. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know why I decided to have a hobby where I publicly speak to people on the internet. I think to make myself get over that I screw up talking, but Hades 2 early access looks really cool. I still need to go back and beat Hades 1. I mentioned to Crazy Pants yesterday, like, oh, I should play Hades. And then I was like, oh, wait, no, my arms hurt from what I've been doing, and Hades would like destroy my fucking arms. I at least need to get the story. I don't know what happens to Hades in Hades 1. Wait, you're not Hades. You're his like kid. You're like Zagreus or something. I think. Everyone's playing Hades 2. You're jealous? Dirk, can your PC not run Hades 2? Zagreus is his name. Oh, hell yeah. Sweet. Okay, my memory still kind of works. I promise we'll get to working on Godot in a second. At some point, I plan to play the first one. As a recap, if you weren't here the like 4 times I've mentioned it, I deleted my save file when I installed a newer version of Windows on my laptop. I saved everything but my Hades save. I backed everything up, and then I was like, oh, I'll play Hades. And then I played Hades a little bit and got pretty far into it, like 4th or 5th boss. 4th boss, I think. And then I installed the new Windows, and I didn't save my Hades file because I'm fucking stupid. Your wallet cannot run Hades 2? Okay, yeah, no, I understand that. Next month, I'm gonna buy Destiny's expansion and the Elden Ring DLC, and then that's gonna be like the only money I spend on games for the whole year. Oh, damn, yeah, $30 in early access is kind of pricey. Dang. That's probably the most confident I would ever be in a game's early access. Like, the original Hades is insanely fun. I can't imagine the second one being not fun. And that company, oh no, it's either Supergiant or Supermassive. They like never make sequels. It's really good so far. Okay, I heard good things about the Supergiant. Great. I'm never gonna fucking remember. I've heard great things about the they did a stream where they just did like a technical test or something, and everybody was like, holy shit, it looks good. And then they were like, it'll be in early access. They've never done DLC or sequels, not even one. Holy shit. I hope they're happy about it. I hope they didn't just do it because they saw fucking dollar signs. I hope they feel like they have more to add to Hades. I feel like with certain games, like you end up with like 60 or 70 ideas that don't even make it into the game. So you could easily make like a good sequel. And then other games, like they clearly make a sequel because they're just like, give me that fucking money. Movies too. It's a nicely done sequel. Cool. I kind of don't want spoilers. I want to attempt to enjoy the story on my own for the first one, and then play the second one. Although clearly that's not going so well with Elden Ring, because I have no idea what's going on. Last stream, I finally figured out that Melanie is not the last boss. I looked up fucking threads that I had seen on Reddit where people are implying she's the last boss, and then I found one thread where people are very clearly talking about how she's not the last boss and that there's a different boss that's the last boss. It's nice of people to not say who the last boss is, but it's very weird that fucking there are multiple threads with people saying she's the last boss. It's very frustrating. Melanie's very close to the name of the Hades 2 protag. Oh, you're not Zagreus anymore. Okay, that's kind of cool. I was kind of wondering where the story was going to go. I'm not even going to try to say that name. What does an umlaut over an E do? Nope. Nope. I'm just not. You know what? Let's make the internet say it.
We are looking at how to pronounce this name as well as how to say more interesting but often confusing names from Greek mythology, so make sure to stay tuned to the channel if you enjoy learning about it. Melanoi is how it is said in Greek.
Melanoi. Okay. You heard it a bunch of times yesterday and you're still not sure. Did this guy talking to you, I feel like that guy was coming on to me the way he was speaking to me. Maybe that's just how he speaks, but wow, that was whew, that was a lot. A Melanoi. Okay. Maybe it's the last boss you finally defeat. Oh, Melania, not the final boss. Yeah, I think people were like she's like the super special hardest boss probably. Although I think Malekith is going to be much harder for me, and he's a required boss. According to some random list I found. But I really should have assumed, like, once I couldn't figure out how to end the game, I probably should have just been like, okay, what like big bosses are left? Boy, looking back, I was such a dumbass. It's pretty funny actually. But yeah, I think Dirk, I think that's the case. Is like people view her as like a final challenge. And so we're referring to her as the final boss. And maybe nobody wants to correct anybody in a thread about that stuff, because then it's like you're kind of spoiling the game. Especially if you do need to beat her for an ending. I assume there's an ending where you need to beat all of the demigods. So it would like make sense if she was required for that ending, and then people don't want to spoil that, like getting to an argument where someone's like, she's not the last boss, and then someone else is like, well, she is if you do this ending. Hi, Greg. So I don't know. You got your pipeline for pixel art set up. Cool. I need to do that. Oh shoot, actually, yeah, let me talk about that. So I was thinking, I kind of want to have a day. I might go back to streaming Mondays. I want to have a day where I'm working on game design stuff for Scribe, but like not in Godot. Like the story, the mechanics, the like element system. Maybe even once I get through all of that, like we'll start. I'll start failing my way through pixel art, trying to figure stuff out. You want to figure out some Blender? You said Blender. So you can just throw some stuff in and pixelate. You then corrected Blender. Okay, you did mean Blender. Great. All the Souls games, you can tell when you're at the final boss. Okay, Durg is excited for the prospect of an extra stream. So I might do it Monday, or because I kind of need a break from playing video games, I might do it like Tuesday we do this, Wednesday we'll play Hollow Knight once I beat Elden Ring. Thursday we'll do like story, lore, mechanic stuff for Scribe, and then Friday back to I'm thinking like a turn-based game. I'm thinking like Undertale or something. So then like my arms can kind of chill the fuck out a little bit. Especially because next month there's a Destiny expansion that comes out, and that's gonna be grueling on my arms. Thursday. Hammer. It's really funny that Thursday is named after Thor. I kind of wish it was still Thursday. Thursday sounds cool. Teamer, what did you mean that all the Souls games you can tell when you're at the final boss? The only boss that I can remember is the last boss from a Souls game. Okay, Demon Souls, you fight like the elder demon thing, the like primal demon thing, and that was pretty clear it was the end. The original Dark Souls, it's very clear it's the end because you're fighting Gwyn. You're fighting like the Big Daddy God Man. Wednesday is a Wotan's day, as in Odin. So it used to be Odin's Day, and then it got switched to Wednesday? That's weird. Oh, who's the last boss for Dark Souls 2? I got it. All right, hold on. Nope, that's a 3. Nashandra, the evil queen of Drangleic. Okay, somebody needs to replay Dark Souls 2. Okay, I definitely remember her, and I feel like she was stupidly easy. What? The fuck? This is a post on. Hold on. Our shitty Dark Souls. What the fuck? It's a meme. Oh yeah. Bloodborne is also very obviously at the end due to the environment. Yeah. Bloodborne for sure. I remember. And you're fighting whoever you know is in charge of causing all the weird shit to be going on. I believe. The hunter's dream person. Mulaney is just in some hall in a tree no one talks about. Yeah, that was confusing. I still have no idea actually what I'm trying to do. Like in Dark Souls 1, it's like you gotta like relight all the bonfires. And then the last boss is at like the main bonfire. But Elden Ring's like stand before the Elden Ring. And I'm like, where is it? Where is it? I have all the shards of it. Is the Elden Ring with me? Can I just be done? I have all the pieces. What's going on? That's shitty Dark Souls for you. I have never heard of shitty Dark Souls. It sounds funny. I mean, we're just gonna open that for later. Not now. And we're just gonna slide it all the way over here. Okay, great. Okay, so anyway, now we've discussed a little bit what I might be doing. I do want to mention also I'm gonna take tomorrow off because my arms are still very mad at me, and I need a day to chill. It's one thing when they hurt and I'm like clicking occasionally doing this stuff, but like when I'm trying to play Elden Ring and they like hurt bad, it like ooh, it's like a crazy feeling. It feels like my arms are being torn apart from the inside, and apparently that's a relatively common thing. I talked to my physical therapist about it, and they were like, "Yep, that's like a sign that there's serious problems going on." And when I finished physical therapy, I was like, I haven't had that pain for a long time. And they're like, okay, great. That might be like as good as your arms get, is like you take care of them and they don't do the terrible, horrible pain. So yeah, I'm not going to stream tomorrow. And we're going to go from there. I'm going to... also, one thing that I'm doing, there are some strenuous exercises that I learned in physical therapy that involve armbands that I've started doing again. The problem with them is they make it worse before they make it better because they're like an actual workout for my arms. And so like trying to work your arms out when they're already like mad at you, they get a little bit more mad at you. So I'm 2 workouts into that, and usually by like the 5th or 6th, my arms are like they're fucking better. And then I get lazy and I feel okay, so I stop doing the exercises. So like maybe this time I'll not do that. I don't know. I like this. It's been like a year since my arms were fucking shitty like this. So yeah, I'm gonna take tomorrow off. We're probably gonna add in another video game creation stream thing, but not related to Godot. And I'll figure out whether that's gonna be on Monday or whether I'm gonna substitute Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, one of those days. I don't know. It's up in the air. Yeah. Oh shit, Teamworm had a comment about shitty Dark Souls. It's shitty, sometimes good and sometimes very not. Yeah, that seems like, based on that post, that seems like an apt description. That's what I had in my head. All right, so today, I'm exactly where we left off a week ago. Well, technically not. I made a sprite sheet for our Radicate. He used to just be this image, but now he's actually a sprite sheet. And that's neither here nor there. That's honestly not that important. That's going to be nice for animating him. It's not important at all. as far as behavior trees, I'm still in the same fucking spot. So last week we went through a behavior tree tutorial. And so then this week, what I'm thinking we do is we find, this is the tutorial. Also, I should have, on the YouTube video, if you're on YouTube, so like, sorry, I didn't link this. It's a Medium article. You could probably like see it, but in the, up here, I'll go back. I'll put it in this video's description and in the previous video's description, along with Behave, the add-on that this uses. But what I wanted to do is at somewhere this intelligent person drew a like flow chart that was like, here's what okay, yeah. Okay. Wait, no, this is the less conceptualized one. I want the one this. Here we go. Okay. So I want to do this, but for our lovely Raticate, who we are, as a recap, we are attempting to get this Raticate to do things using a behavior tree. The things we want him to do, we want him to go over to this bush if he's hungry and have like, he's gonna like eat berries off the bush. That we need to add berries to the bush, but like for now, I think what we're gonna have him do is he's gonna like roll some dice and decide like, okay, I'm hungry. Or he's gonna decide, okay, I'm thirsty. Or he's gonna decide I should go into my den. One of those things. We want him doing those things. So we want to be able to just like run the game and then have him decide like, oh, hey, I want to go to this bush to eat. And then once he's done eating, he'll decide again like, okay, now I want to go drink. Decide again, okay, now I want to go eat again. Then drink again. Then eat. Then go into my den. That is my current goal. Eventually we will be appending that because we want him to do those things while a bunch of other Raticates are also doing those things, but we don't want them all doing the same thing. We want like some of them are eating, some of them are drinking, some of them are playing, some of them are running from the player who's like nearby and like maybe they're kind of scared. They don't trust him. Or some of them are mad and they're gonna go attack the player. So I want to figure out the first tree that's gonna just be basic shit. Rolling dice and drinking. He's just like you for real. Oh my god. Teamworm, take care of yourself. Fuck. I don't know if you're just joking or if you legitimately need some help, but you seem to be sharing that you've been quite irresponsible with, well, actually no, you taking the day off to play and then playing Hades 2, like that's actually a potentially responsible self-care thing to do. It's all right. I take it back. You're fine. You're fine. Everything's fine. You're good? Okay, great. Shit. Okay, so we're going to make a very simple tree. I'm just going to do it in paint. And this is going to be the initial tree, which is that we just want him to eat, drink, or go sleep. And then once we make that tree, then we're going to figure out the commands that we need to do those things. And then we're going to try and enact them as an actual behavior tree, which like, boy, I did the tutorial last week. And when I look back at the tutorial, like the things the guy says make sense, but I'm just like, how do I do this? Like, how do I fucking actually do it? So, it'll be baby steps, and we're gonna do it wrong 1,000 times before we do it right. And that's just how it's got to be. Okay, where the hell is paint? Paint? Well, you're not on my taskbar anymore. Okay. All right. I hate having Godot is lame, and it will only let me show it if I have my desktop visible. So you're now gonna see me drag paint over and like maximize it, and like it's fucking annoying. Oh, you know what? I could have easily prevented that. I could have just captured the paint window and hidden the desktop. But fucking things are hard when you're dumb, you know? All right. So what do we do here? This is our behavior tree outline. You don't want a capital U. Okay. So what does his behavior tree fucking look like? It's like... It starts with a question. Because the purpose of his behavior tree is just to get the character to go home, initially. Eventually that gets updated to like, is the character at the right building? For like daytime, he should go to work. So if he's at home, send him to work. Nighttime, if he's at work, send him home. So then... What? God, how do we even conceptualize where we start? Like, so our goal with the Eradicate is to be like satisfied? Like, what the... You're a wild animal. What the fuck do you want? You just want to take care of all of your needs, right? So like, so would we really be like are all needs met? And then we'd have a thing, hey, let's get a thicker thing. And then we'll just like if yes. Wow. Like if yes, then like certainly he wouldn't do nothing, right? Like maybe he should like play or like relax. Take care and do secondary things. Starts with a question because the poor thing is destined to question its purpose. Also Miro. Yeah, Dirk, is there like there's probably a good Miro for this, isn't there? Damn it. I hate the way that Miro seems to be able to do all of these organizational things, but like I'm lazy and I know how to use paint. You can just use basic blocks. Okay. All right. Let's check that out. Let's if we can do it quickly, because this isn't supposed to look nice. One moment. We gotta restore to this size, and then we got it. Okay. Let's make it my way. I don't. But okay. Here's the thing. Being lazy sometimes makes sense. If it's really simple, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, Google, I don't care. Give my info to Miro. I already did this. Did I not already do this? Yeah, I already did this. Fucker. Okay. So, Dirk has suggested basic blocks. Oh. I see. Okay. You know, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really know what Miro did to make money, but this makes sense. Ooh, I can use the same board. Okay. That's an interesting idea. So we have this visual table from when we were doing work trying to figure out what animals we want to put into our demo area that has 3 different biomes. It's very big and can contain a lot of stuff. Okay, so I can do... is there a way, like, am I just gonna put it like down here? Or is there a way like with Excel, you can have a separate sheet? Is that doable? Just move aside. Like we could come over here. But then, how do I create the flow chart that I want? Okay, add frame. templates, text, sticky note, shape, connection line. Okay, so we'll probably use connection lines. Comments, frames, add frame. The funny frame icon. Okay. You can add a browser frame. What the fuck? Okay, let's just do like a 16:9 frame. Okay. Now, so this can just hang out on its own. Okay. And so let me see how the pen works. Okay, I can draw arrows. So now we just need like some floating, we could do some comments. Nope. Hold on. Okay, you just click and then you get a comment. You recommend shapes. Do we need shapes? They're all flowchart shape. I don't know. I think we could just do text and lines, right? Like what? Like if we want to imitate this, we just need like text and lines. Maybe the shapes let you put text in them. Let's see. Let me just see if. Okay, no. This is great. This is great. We got this. Okay, so hold on. We can zoom in a little bit. All right. Okay, so this is going to be our. Okay, we should. Yeah. Eradicate behavior tree, and it's an outline. And I don't know, maybe we go a little bigger for the title. Okay, and then are you that you're nope. I just want to drag you, sir. I would just like to drag you. No. Okay. There's an easy way to drag you. I know there is. Is it just that? Nope, because that'll let me select over there. All right, buddy. All right. Why? Move closer. Oh boy. Crazy Pants was here. She would tell you that I am spectacular at misunderstanding people's very clear directions. So this, like, we'll just resize it, which that's fine. But my God. There we go. Okay. I got it. I got it, Turk. Thank you. Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so dumb. Holy crap. Okay. But if I can figure this out, anybody can figure this out, right? So like, good job, Miro. Good job. Okay. So what did we have in Paint? We had our all needs met. You're sorry, you're trying to be supportive? No, you're totally fine, man. I feel like I'm failing you right now. If anybody is fucking up, I'm failing you. Okay, so maybe we look at this like if you're an animal and all of your needs are met, what would you do? You would do things you want to do. I'm not failing you, I'm learning. Yeah. Well, okay. All right. I click the small dot, it'll create another text under it. Okay, ooh, hold on. Okay, well, the arrow thing is cool. There's a lot of dots. And like this is gonna do an arrow to the side. Ooh, and then you can just add the ooh, okay. Okay, undo that though. Okay, so that's actually very cool. So we can do like this, and then we can add text, and we can be like, yes. And then we can click this. Okay, yeah, Dirk, this is definitely worth doing. This is fucking sweet. So I think this is a good general way to conceptualize it. Like the left, nope, there we go. So the left side of this, essentially this section, is character at home? Yes, then go to sleep. Our version of that is going to be, are all needs met? Then if yes, then fulfill wants. And I think we'll decide for Raticate. We'll leave that, and we'll just put that he's gonna play. He's gonna find some other little rats, and they're gonna have like a little tussle, because again, this takes place in like a world like Pokemon, and Pokemon love fighting, so they're gonna like have a little play fight. And yeah, I guess they could just idle. I don't know what I would do if I had them idling though. Like just kind of walk around. Okay, so then that means kind of means we need to extend this more. This is like actually another part of the tree. This isn't just an end. So then, if the Raticate can find another creature to play with, probably another Raticate, but maybe a Rattata. Maybe he'll go play with like a youngin. Or maybe there will be other animals that they're cool with, that they'll go play with. It's not important right now. Well, I want the flow chart to make sense, you know? It's like conceptualizing this is important. But yeah, so I think I'm just, for now, we'll add an asterisk here, like this isn't actually an end. We got to keep going on this. And so then can we do like a, because this is going to get complicated. So this one's going to be no. And then, so if not, then what? If all of its needs aren't met, then it needs to decide which ones are most important. And I'm still thinking that the best way to do this is to have every Raticate that exists, when it's created, it has some kind of like, it has meters to determine its hunger, its thirst. So like the moment it's created, those meters are like randomly rolled. So like if you the player go into a new area with some Raticate, the game's gonna be like, okay, Raticate belong here. There should be about this many, so let's randomly spawn them. And then each of them will have randomly assigned values for how hungry they are, how thirsty they are, how tired they are. And so then that would be a very simple way. If that's automated, it will be a simple way for you, the player, to be able to go to a new area, and you'll just see animals doing their thing. And so then what that would mean is this behavior tree is constantly running. It's going to constantly ask, are all of my needs met? And if the answer is no, then it should be able to pretty easily know which one's most important, right? And so I think the way to do that is going to be every meter, food, hunger, tiredness. Is there anything else? I think we can get away with just those for Raticate. And every animal will have an equivalent. Like, I think we're gonna have Sunflora, the little sunflower Pokemon. They're gonna be in this environment too. And their version of hunger is that they're going to seek sunlight and they're going to seek dirt to be able to get nutrients, like, because that's how they eat. If something's under 30%, prioritize. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking is like, in my head, I like the idea of them being meters that go up to a maximum. And then if anything is, oh, how do I say this? It's like I want the meters to be set up so that it's like whichever one is highest is the most important thing. Yeah, Dirk, exactly. So like it's a hunger meter, because that, like, to my mind, that makes more sense. Like a hunger meter, a thirst meter, and then this one doesn't feel as good, a like tiredness meter. And then the other way, like fullness feels weird to say, both like full for food and full for thirst sounds weird, but then energy sounds nice. An energy meter for whether they need to sleep sounds nice, but I think it's better to go hunger meter, thirst meter, tiredness meter. It's not perfect, but ooh, a fatigue meter. Yeah, that sounds okay. Okay. So then I need a way to essentially compare those things. So then I guess we would basically just have a command here that's like compare meters. Ooh, also health, as they might prioritize going to heal. Okay, so, well, then, yeah, that's shit. That's good. That's good. Because, like, obviously it's okay to do this wrong and then fix it, because the whole point of this is to learn. But if we could conceptualize it properly from the beginning, that would be good. So do you okay, so health. Do you think we could just lump that into fatigue? A creature that loses a certain amount of health, like if you're Eradicate and your health is below like 50%, maybe the game just automatically boosts your fatigue meter. Like, you could just have woken up, you could be like, oh man, I'm not tired at all. And then a trainer comes by and fights you with his Pokemon. And then you, like, I don't know, you barely defeat him. And he has to run away sad. He's got to go heal his Pokemon. But now you're at like 5 health. I think it would make sense to just have the game be like, okay, combat is over. What's your health? Oh, your health is really low. So just like max out your fatigue meter. And maybe it would be proportional. Like, the lower your health, the higher up your fatigue meter will go. If your health is at like 80%, maybe add a little bit to the fatigue meter. Maybe you're also really hungry and really thirsty, and so those things will be more important, but you will get a little boost to your fatigue meter. And so then if your health is very, very low, it would like essentially max or nearly max your fatigue meter, which would convince you to go rest rather than eating or drinking. Okay, so conceptually that makes sense to me. That seems reasonable. That was definitely a good thing to think about, though. So I think we can still just have our 3 meters. Guess I can just add them here. Hunger, thirst, fatigue. I'm watching the, since my arms have been hurting, I've been watching the CS50 Harvard course, and holy shit, do they use so many abbreviations for things? Like, it makes sense if you're going to type a command like a billion times, and you're going to put it in a library for other people to be able to type that command to like utilize it. Like, yeah, don't call it get string length, call it STNGLNGH or what, I don't know. They just fucking abbreviate the shit out of everything, which makes sense because you're gonna have to type it a bunch. But now my mind is in that mindset, but that's not important here. Okay. So we compare the 3 meters, and then since these are like it's STRLEN. Of course you would know that. I should know that. I have watched that guy type it like 100 times at this point. One thing that's bad about my arms hurting though is I haven't done the homework for the later. I've done one set of homework for the class, but I've watched like 3 more lectures that I haven't done the work for that I need to go back and do. And it's just, you hate homework. Yeah, it's different when you're like choosing to do it and you don't get a grade for it. It's very like, it's like harder to do but more rewarding when you do it. But I definitely need to do that to learn those. I just need to type STRLEN like 30 times and then I'll fucking remember that that's string length. So we're gonna compare 3 meters, and then I guess one way we could look at this is like, is hunger highest? Ooh. Or do we, ooh. First is at source. Okay, good point. Okay, but before that, should we prioritize things? Like really probably we should start with like, is fatigue the highest thing? And then, yeah, let me roll with this and then decide if this is stupid. And so then this is gonna go to, oh no, I don't like that. No, shit. Guess we'll just go straight and we'll branch out to the right for no. So like if fatigue is the highest meter, oh, but even that's not necessarily how I want to do it. Dirk, you're definitely right about like checking if you're at the source of the thing, right? Because if you're hungry and you're right at the food, then you don't need to walk to the food. That's definitely the way to go. But I'm thinking before that, it shouldn't even be is fatigue highest. Well, okay, no, maybe it should be because the only reason we're in this section of the tree is because we've decided that all needs aren't met. And maybe I need to define that. Like if there's any need or any meter, but any need meter like greater than 50%. The meters go from 0 to 100, and if your meter is above 50% as Eradicate, you're gonna be like, I need food, I need water, I need to sleep. If it's above 50%, you're just gonna be thinking like, well, I'm a little hungry, but I'm just gonna sit here. You can just return strongest need programmatically. Okay, so then essentially you're saying that wouldn't even be part of the I wouldn't need to do this like this. What we could do is, hold on, let's back this up. We could like essentially like identify strongest need. That seems pretty easy. That seems like something I could figure out what to do. Like, we could just have every Eradicate could just have a variable that it's constantly defining. That's like, what's your strongest need? and then we could use that information to decide what it's going to do. And so then I still think it makes sense, and maybe there's a cleaner way to do this, to like, you identify the strongest need, and then I'm thinking it makes sense to say like is that hunger? No, we want to start with fatigue. And then if yes, then it needs to figure out, like, are you at the source? So I will just say like at source. And that's weird terminology, but for fatigue, that means, are you at the source of where you would satisfy your fatigue? Like, are you at your nest? So we can add that. That's not. And then if yes, oh my God, I'm going to have to learn how to organize this properly. Look at all these fucking arrows just willy-nilly. And so then if yes, you're at your source, if you're at the nest, then sleep, or even we could just do like use. We could even just call it like use for now. And if using your nest means you're gonna you the player would see the Raticate walk over to its nest, and then it would just disappear inside of it, like the way you the player walk up to a building and then the game transitions you inside. You would just see the Raticate like disappear. Maybe make a fun little digging noise or something, like he's like wiggling in. Dirk, you said put a black box there. What do you mean by that? As in, like, I should actually put a box here to let me know that I should be making a variable? Identify strongest need as a black box. Okay. You can just modify the nest's use function. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is that like essentially we could have a bunch of objects. Like, we don't know what's going on inside. Sure, yeah, I guess from this perspective, sure. From here, we don't. Eventually, we would need to. But yeah. You just know what you put in and what you receive. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And then eventually, I will have to actually understand what goes in there. But yeah, okay, I get you. So yeah, what I was thinking is that like every object will end with use. And unless we decide to have the player be able to interact with things as well, in a different way, I think we could just get away with use. Like, if anything uses a Raticate nest, it goes inside of it. But like, you, the player, can't do that. Only Raticates can do it. But then when we talk about like berry bushes, if anybody uses the berry bush, the Raticate is going to eat, and a berry will disappear off the bush. The player is going to add a berry to his inventory. But we could still use the like action, the like function use for the bush, and then check to see like, okay, is it the player using it? Okay, then put a berry in the player's inventory, this kind of berry. Is it a Raticate using it? Okay, then the berry disappears no matter what, but the Raticate just like lowers its hunger meter or something. We can create a use function in a way it calls user as a function parameter. Yeah, exactly. That is that sounds like the proper way to explain what I'm trying to explain from the point of view of somebody who doesn't know jargon. I know zero jargon. Okay, so let's see does this make sense from here. So the Raticate is going to constantly ask itself, are all of my needs met? And then if not, then it's going to identify the strongest need. And first we're going to say, is that fatigue? Now let's pretend, yes, it is. This is a tired Raticate. Okay. Then he's going to check, am I at my nest? If he is, he's going to use the nest. Okay. So let's back up from there, because we're going to need a no right here. I want this to curve around, but I bet it'll take care of it. Let's see. Oh, maybe not. Hold on. Because now you're just right on top. There we go. Okay, great. I kind of thought it would do this automatically if I had them in line. I wonder if there's a way to set that up. Move alignment to center. This, that. It will automatically. All right, well, we'll see. Actually, this just sets it for just this, right? I need to figure out how to do that by default. Use the main menu, export this board, search the board. No, I need like a project settings thing, my dude. Open frames. Okay, you know what? It's not that important. I'll look up how to do this. No way, it makes it for all objects? Okay, hold on. So then we'll go up here, because this is the one we're going to do after this. Okay, you want to be on that line, and then we want to do that. It's still aligned left. I'd have to click center if I want it centered. I don't know. Maybe I misunderstood what you meant. Maybe you have a different setting. Let me make a note. I'll check and see if Miro's making you mad. It's fine. It's probably user error, and it's probably it's definitely my issue, but it's probably just a setting you can change. I'll check off stream to see if we can do that. No, it's not hugely important right now. Okay, so if he's not at his source, then Mr. Raticate or Mrs. Raticate is going to go to source. And then... Would I just loop back around? Is that smart? How does, conceptually, that's what they've done here. That they essentially loop in the walk to home, and then they're like, are you home yet? No. Okay, walk home. Are you home yet? No. Walk home. And then eventually, yes, and then they enter their home. So, let's see, can I do like a multi-part? Just want another arrow off of you. Or actually, oh no, wait, okay, we could do one arrow and then we can adjust it. So, do something like that. That looks okay. Okay. All right. And then maybe we just now we need some space. So let's move this further over. Okay, so now we've handled if fatigue is the problem, then he's gonna figure out how to go to his source, how to go to his nest. Okay. Can copy the whole branch. Ooh. Okay. So then, because it's essentially, we're gonna have this entire thing. Not you. This is going to repeat for each of the other needs. So let's see what happens. Like how do I connect it is the thing. Hold on. So let's like paste it. And then, okay, we're running out of space. Can I make you bigger? You don't want to be bigger. Now, there we go. Okay, you just had to select it. You just had to select it, bro. The thing about things is they usually make sense. Okay, well now how do I not select you? Could we not more? Look. Okay, so yeah. I assumed I could use Control-C, Control-V, but I wanted to like target it. I guess actually, let's see. If I Control-V, oh, it just pasted the text. Oh no, Melanoe. My brain doesn't remember things anymore. That's fine. Okay, so it looks like Control-C, Control-V was not into functioning right there. That's okay. Okay, so what we want to do then is like could we just take you and boom? Okay. Oh, because I copied it by choosing copy. I didn't use Control-C. Okay, good. Yeah, good point. Good point. Okay, so then for this one, we're gonna say, okay, is that hunger? And then if it's hunger, then it'll go to a source, which is food. And then if it's at the source, it uses it. If it's not at the source, it goes to the source and repeats that until, okay, yeah, this works. Identify strongest need as redundant. Oh, you're right. You're right. Because we're gonna ask in all the, oh my god. Okay, thanks, Dirk. Good point. Okay, so we go straight from no. Now this sentence doesn't make sense. So how about is fatigue highest meter? Do something like that. And then let's just copy this and then say, is hunger highest meter? Okay. Okay. So we need a succinct way because there's a problem that I would run into using this terminology if I translated it into code, which is that if all of their meters are the same, if they were all at 80, the way I'm writing this, it wouldn't do anything because none of them would be highest. So maybe we do like, is fatigue greater than or equal to hunger or thirst? It would do the first one. Well, I mean, if I specifically ask, is it higher? Then the answer would be no, right? Okay, great. You agree. All right, cool. It's just a weird language specific thing, right? So then what we actually want to ask is it greater than or equal to? So then if they are equal, we're prioritizing fatigue. And then we're going to do the same thing here. But here we're saying, is hunger greater than or equal to fatigue or thirst? And I think this isn't as simple as it could be. Oh. What? Huh? I don't know why that disappeared. I saw it disappear, but I thought it was just not being shown in the preview window because the preview window was a certain size. Because if we're here, we already know that fatigue is less. So I guess for the sake of being succinct. Yeah, because fatigue's already checked. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. So really we only need to worry if it's greater than or equal to thirst. And actually, yeah, if I programmed that exactly as this was stated, we would get a no sometimes when we wanted a yes, because it might not be greater than fatigue, but it would be greater than thirst. And so the answer to that would be no, but I don't want that to be the situation, because we want to be in a situation where fatigue can be low, hunger can be high, thirst can be almost as high, but then we want to get a yes here. Okay, so great. So this is hunger greater than or equal to thirst. And then if no, then we're going to, let's try Control C, Control V. Then actually, like, no, we'll do the arrow after. That makes more sense. Oh, okay. It did in fact work. I just need that. There we go. So, and then take you, and we didn't even need the arrow because we copied an arrow. Okay, so first we're saying are our needs met? We're eradicate. Are our needs met? No, we have a need. Okay. Is fatigue the greatest need? No. Okay. Is hunger the greatest need? No. Okay. Then we don't even need to do a check here. Right? Because, okay, so, well, okay, so that's one thing I was thinking about. We don't need to check if it's greater than 50 because we won't be in here if it's not. Because the like, hold on. Yeah, let me set this up and then I'll run through an example, because we only come into this section. No. This is good. This is good. If you like, if I'm right, but I can't explain to somebody why I think I'm right, then I'm probably not right. Or at the very least, I could understand why I'm right better. So yeah, I think we should still go through an example though. So we don't even need to check because this is our last need. So then, yeah, okay. Ooh, I don't like, dang. Okay, I'll make like a floating note here. I don't like the way that essentially, like, this is really nice. It's like, oh, is your fatigue greater than your hunger or thirst? Yes or no. Is hunger greater than thirst? Yes or no. And then the last one is just going to be, if no, then deal with your thirst. Which is strange, but it makes sense, but it just feels like logically a little note would be nice to have. So I'll make a little, oh, I could have just used that as a note. Okay, now hold on. How do I want to, let's like bring you up here, maybe? I should have brought it all as one thing. Okay. I'm learning. And then you're just far too large. Okay, so now this needs to be water. And then I think we're good. So let's make a quick note, which is that right here. Okay, no, hold on. We're gonna put in like a double asterisk here, and then put a text thing, not in text anymore. Okay, let's put a text thing right here. Okay, so this just makes it clear that this very last chain is that you're satisfying thirst. So okay, let's make up an example where let's say fatigue is, we want to make an example where they all need to be dealt with. So And let's do, first we'll do one in order. That's like fatigue is 80, a hunger is 70, thirst is 60. Right? They all need to be above 50. And then let's run through if we'll do like a we'll revert, kind of mix this up. We'll do a 60, fatigue is 60, hunger is still 70, and thirst is now 80. So again, because this is a behavior tree, it's constantly going to refresh this. Like every tick of the game, or as often as I tell it to, it's going to constantly be running this. And so if our situation is this, edit with AI. No, Miro, I don't need... Oh my God, they can have AI rewrite things for clarity. Oh my God. I sold something on eBay, and eBay was like, do you want to use AI to like write the description of your product? And I was like, okay, sure. Fucking whatever. Let's see what it does. It did some typical like, buy this cool thing for this cool reason. It's a one of a kind for that reason. And then was like, it has this many cards and does this thing. And like, no, it doesn't. No, it fucking doesn't. That's not true. I don't know where you got that information, AI, but you're wrong. So, it went about as good as I expected. Okay. Tangent done. We're eradicate. We have 80 fatigue, 70 hunger, 30 thirst. So we say, are all of our needs met? No, because we have all of our needs actually are greater than 50. So we go to no. Is fatigue greater than or equal to thirst? In fact, it is. So yes. Aren't I supposed to loop to the first check? Ooh, yeah, that's a good point. In the conceptual thing, I don't know if he does. He loops back into sections. So, okay, so then you're right. So then what we would have to do is, let's think about this for a moment. So let's say we just went into our nest. Okay. We do need to think about the idea. So Durg, wait, so here's something to think about. Actually, I think a better example would be to do the hunger one. What if you're really hungry and you eat and then like you're not full? Right? Like a really hungry Raticate might want to eat multiple times. So I feel like what we should essentially do is loop all the way back to the beginning. Crap. Okay, so actually, I think all three of these should loop all the way back to the beginning. Which, let's set it up. It goes off the page. And really we'd want to have room for the other ones. But so let me think about this. Because so like there's a chance. Yeah, okay, we got to make up more examples. Let's make up more examples. So let's go with an example where fatigue is our only problem. Right? So example number 1, our only problem is that our fatigue is too high. Sure, we're hungry and we're thirsty, but it's not a problem yet. It's just a thing to worry about in the future, right? Like we're very sleepy, only a little hungry, only a little thirsty. So what we need to do is deal with our fatigue. So we are going to ask ourselves, are our needs met? No, they're not. Our fatigue is in fact greater than our hunger and thirst. So then we're gonna go into our nest. Once we get to our nest, we're gonna use our nest and we're gonna sleep. We need I guess we should note that using our nest, that means sleeping, right? That's gonna take a little while. So we're gonna need to make sure that when we when we have the Raticate use its nest. Fuck, I need there we go. Okay. When we have the Raticate use its nest, it's got to take a little while. It can't just like go inside, instantly get refreshed, and come back out. And I think that'll be something to program, that it'll like have a sleeping condition for a certain amount of time. And so maybe we'll have to modify the behavior tree to check like, do you have the condition? Do you have a condition, like an action condition? Are you sleeping? Are you eating? Are you doing anything else? And if yes, then let's not do anything. But then once you go back to idle, then we can run through this again. And so like maybe even if the Raticate is playing, every so often, every creature needs to go back to being idle so that this behavior tree can run again. And so being idle is a creature's way of just being like, what should I do? Let's check for a new input. I think I'll have to actually get into the nitty-gritty of making this before I understand the smart way to do that. But what I'm thinking is it'll be a way to modify the beginning of the behavior tree that's basically like, are you busy? We can just use like busy as a catch-all term for eating, sleeping, drinking, playing. If you're currently in the middle of those actions, you don't need to worry about your other actions. Just get that done. Oh, or fighting. Fighting. You might be in the middle of a fight. Oh my god, that would be so funny to be fighting Raticate in combat, and it just decides like, I don't even care about fighting you. I'm hungry, dude. I'm gonna go eat some berries. You would just check a random meter and not make it a conveyor. Why? Wait, why would you do it that way? Because I think like that could get you the result you want, but shit, I forgot to put my phone on do not disturb. So like what I'm thinking is I want to make sure that when you have a bunch of Raticates, they're all doing different stuff, because you have 50% checking the right one. Since the last one is satisfied. Right now, hunger has a priority over thirst. Well, shit. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me think about this for a second. Shouldn't we check every meter? And I guess really that should be this part, right? And you know what? Okay, hold on. I think we should modify this whole thing. And let's move this all down. Because I do think it makes sense to conceptually start with, are we busy? And that would be eating, sleeping, drinking. Okay, nope. Let's do this in an order that makes sense. Sleeping, eating, drinking, playing. And we could even conceptualize this as, are you idle? And then have the like inverter decorator. Shoot, or not, because oh my god. Conceptually, every tutorial has said to make sure the questions are phrased in a like positive way, not like, are you not doing this thing? But, okay, so then let's say, I need to move things down more. Shit. Okay, so we need more room. Get some more room. Okay, let me click off of that. And then let's take this whole thing, drag it down just a little bit. You'll be busy until, oh, good point. You're right. You'll be in the busy thing. You're right. You're right. So we don't actually need this. Okay. Okay. Well, I want the expanded space. Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay. I can't. I did something, so I can't redo. Okay. So yeah. Yeah, Dirk, you're right. You will just be stuck in one of these. So you don't actually need to ask if you're busy. If you're busy, you won't be repeating the loop. You'll only repeat the loop once you're done being busy. Okay. So can you draw a thing like you see it? Yeah, totally. And then we'll put it up on the stream. Maybe you'll have to explain why. Yeah, just like upload it to Imgur, or I guess if you can share a Miro board with me, do that. Whatever's the easiest way for me to view it quickly. So I think I want to rephrase this to check if all needs are met, because that's what we want to be doing here specifically, to make it clear. Like we're not just asking the question, we're running a check. And then we can kind of expand on this, right? Like, so what we want to do here, can Raticate play? So if there's another Raticate around to play with, then yes. Oh no, hold on. Come over here. If there's not another Raticate around, it'll be no. And then yes will lead to playing for a period of time. And then no will just lead to idle. Shoot, oh my god. So I just have to do that for another one? Oh my god, how did I forget how to do this? Do I click you? Oh, okay, there we go. Do I actually want idle to be a state? Yeah, I guess he could be idle for a while. That could be fine. We could actually demand that the game let him just kind of hang out for a bit. Oh my god. Why? Miro, are you okay? Are you okay? What have you okay, Miro has frozen. Oh no. Oh, I can right click. What? What's your problem here, buddy? Miro, you're being quite strange. Can I zoom out? Nope, can't zoom out or in. Okay. Do we just reload and hope it saved it? F5. Is F5 to reload? I'm just gonna click. Yeah, I'm just gonna click reload. We should be fine. It should have saved it. That's the whole point of tools like this. Great. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, so if no, we'll actually just have an idle state. Great. Oh. Wait. Your text is smaller now. Oh, interesting. So the text size change I made was for everything. That did stay consistent. And then now that we refreshed, it went back to 14 rather than 18. That's really funny. Okay. So the idea is going to be that this runs constantly. Unless we're in the middle of doing something. So unless we are playing, idling, sleeping, eating, or drinking. I say we, but I mean the Raticate. I'm currently trying to view it from the point of view of the Raticate. then this behavior tree will be restarting over and over. And that seems like that works. That'll fucking do what we want. We'll need to decide like how eating a berry, what does that do to your hunger meter? Especially when we get into different animals, like if an animal goes hunting and gets a kill, we're gonna need to have animals that like only have to eat like every other day or something. And so their hunger meter is going to decay differently, or go much higher. Because some animals would only eat like every few days, and they'd get a big kill and then feed on that. Depending on the environment, like over multiple days. I know animals like in cold environments will like leave their kill buried and then come dig it up and eat it over multiple days. Unless something else comes and eats it. So then we need to think about like, God, okay, so what if you're really hungry and kind of thirsty? You eradicate, you go and you eat a little berry, and you now get just a little less hungry, but now thirst is your biggest problem. Are you really gonna leave your berry zone and you're gonna go drink water and then come all the way back to the berries? I honestly think that would be okay. I don't think it's optimal. I don't think it's like ideal. But this is already complicated enough to think about. It seems hard to add in something like... Well, okay, would it be? Now, hold on, because we could just have the goal be... Holy shit. I left the window open for Greg, and there is a slight breeze that was clacking the blinds together. That scared me. Made me confused. Okay, so maybe we have eat be a kind of situation where when like the eat function is run, the Raticate is going to decide how much to eat. So then in one go, he'll decide like, okay, I need to eat 5 berries. So I'm going to sit here for a while and eat it'll take 5 berries worth of eating time while I sit at this bush and eat berries. And then we go back at the beginning of this loop. And so at that point, hunger will be fully satisfied. So we're not going to be partially satisfying any needs. For the sake of simplicity, we should view each of these use commands or actions as fully satisfying the need. So we don't have to worry about a weird situation where the Raticate eats a little bit, and then he's like, okay, I ate a little bit, I'm not as hungry. I'm still hungry, but now I'm more thirsty than hungry, I'm gonna go drink water. Although my fucking cats do that shit. My cats eat some food, and then they go and drink some water, and then they go back and eat some more food. But you know what? I don't think it's that important to worry about. I think this might be good enough. I do want to see Durg's example. Because I wouldn't be surprised if conceptually I'm messing this up already. Let's go down to the actual tree that he makes. It'll take a while, yeah, for sure, dude. So this other tree is clearly the person that wrote this tutorial has converted things. Let me zoom in. Oh boy. Okay. It did not like that. Oh my god. All right, medium. This is clearly converting things to a more sensible, like, code language. Using the actual, I don't know, like the behave components. Or the components of a behavior tree. Sleep selector, travel home sequence, sleep action. So then it looks like all the leaves that are terminal actions are just going to be called something action. And then everything else is going to be sequences if they're composed of things. Conditions if they're just checking things. So like you check to see if you're not at home. Then you run a commute selector. Because right. So the idea is, should I go to sleep? If you're at home, you can go to sleep. If you're not at home, you need to start the travel sequence. Right, which I guess it's interesting to have the not at home condition here. But I guess that makes sense. Because you're starting the sequence, so sure, fine. And then you need to select what you do, whether you're going to exit a building or walk home. And then... Huh. Okay, yeah, I guess the animation is showing this just very slowly. And essentially what happens is when the commute selector goes off, first it exits the building. Then the commute selector, once they've successfully exited the building, then the commute selector walks home. Unless they're already out of a building, then it will just walk them home. Okay. Ooh, that's going to be hard. That's going to be hard for me to mentally restructure that, but I think that's what we're going to need to do. Yeah, let me run through this logically and see if I think I'm missing anything. And then I guess we'll try to restructure it like that. And we can go into Godot and look at the behave modifier things. I guess, yeah, we should probably just reopen that tutorial and look at a description of each of the different nodes that behave has when we're trying to make sure that it's correct. Okay, so if our fatigue is 80, our hunger and thirst are 20, then we would check to see if all of our needs are met, and we would say no, they're not. And we would check, is our fatigue greater than or equal to hunger or thirst? It is in fact greater. So we would say yes. Then we check to see if we're at the nest. Let's say no, we're not. Then we would go to the nest. Then repeat this, check if we're at the nest. Yes, we are. And we're gonna sleep. I do wonder if you can be stuck in this no loop. Because we're gonna have pathfinding. That's gonna be a challenge to actually get pathfinding to work. And hopefully there are ways to have, if the pathfinding fails like once, to maybe have some like randomization in it. So hopefully it won't fail over and over. Because I guess you could get stuck in a situation where you can't reach your nest. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Anyway, so you reach your nest, great. You go to sleep. Boom, you sleep for however long we decide the sleep action needs to take. Maybe we have it take a certain amount of time. Right. We could add some kind of counter for it failing. The thing is, though, I don't want it to fail. Because we absolutely need all Raticates to be able to get back to their nests. And ooh. Length comparison will be a progress meter. Yeah, so what I'm thinking is then what... So let's think about that. If Eradicate can't get back to his nest and he's tired, like, what does he do? Do I have him find another nest? Do I have him make another nest? Because I could see a situation... Like, I could see a situation if we're out on the overworld, there's Raticates running around, maybe there are puzzles that involve, like, moving boulders and stuff, and if Eradicate's nest is in a spot that, like, the player could block with a boulder, and then just, like, sit there, the player can just, like, not solve the puzzle and leave the boulder in the way of the Eradicate, and just, like, stay in the area so things don't reset. Like what does the Eradicate do? And yeah, I guess, like, making him find a new nest would make sense. Okay. That's gonna be a fucking complicated thing to deal with. Like, how do I make sure that he makes a nest in an area that makes sense? And also, like, he needs to not get in the way of puzzles. Digging makes sense for Eradicate and jumping. Yeah, I think that might be the thing to do, is we just have it so, like, if the Eradicate gets really desperate, if the loop repeats too many times and he's, like, stuck on a boulder, he'll just, like, climb up and over the boulder. That might be the thing to do. And I don't know if we would handle that in the behavior tree, or if we would handle that as part of pathfinding. Oh yeah, Dirk, that's a good point. Yeah, like the way that Stardew Valley works. If you as the player try to walk into if you try to walk past an NPC, at first you can't, and then you can't, and then you can't, and then the game lets you walk past them. So yeah, something like that would be good. Now, would it make sense to put it in the behavior tree? Because then essentially what we would do, I guess, is this loop would become more complicated and it would have a counter. And if the counter, we would just add in the middle of the loop be saying, hey, is the counter above like 3? And then if no, we just keep staying in the loop like normal. But if yes, we go to a spot where it's like, okay, the Eradicate's going to jump over whatever's in its way. And as of now, I am not thinking of having any puzzle-based things that Eradicate could not jump over. Other animals, we might have to make an exception. Kind of in both directions, potentially. Like some animals might not be able to get over a boulder. Loud-ass sirens in the background. Some animals might just jump over it, like if there was a creature that's like an elk and you put a boulder in its way, he's probably like, I don't give a fuck, dude. I'll just fucking jump over that. I don't care. Whereas Eradicate, being a little bit smaller than the boulder, might look for a way around it and then decide to go over it. Let me make a note. I need to do some research as to whether or not that should be part of pathfinding. Pathfinding or behavior tree. It's like we could do it either way. And maybe behavior tree makes the most sense, because if we want different creatures to do different things, they're all going to have their own behavior tree, and behavior trees are specifically designed to be like copy pastable. You can pull a chunk out, put it somewhere else, use it for a different purpose. And I don't know if the navigation is going to work like that. So then maybe we should do it as part of this. So yeah, I guess, yeah, sure. Let's add that in. So where would we put it in? It's in here somewhere, clearly. So let's make some room. And so at first, you would say, is the Raticate at its nest? And you'd say, no, it's not. And then, then you're going to go to the nest. But if you're still not there, I guess in here, where do we add the counter? Okay, hold on. This is so weird to think about, because if we loop too many times, then we're gonna need to go to a separate thing where we like, I guess we want to use like jump or something, right? We want to like use some kind of like terrain, an uncommon terrain movement, and I think for now we'll just call it jump. Or pass obstacle. So I guess it could be right after the no. We could say like, how many times have we been stuck? So ooh. Does that make sense? I feel like that makes sense. But maybe there's a smarter way, a smarter spot to do it. Would it make sense to do it at the end? No, because you want the fork to be right here. Right? So yeah, especially because once you jump over, then you want to go back into this loop. Okay. So like here we would count. Oh, you can add text in between. Interesting. Okay. That's cool. Okay. So this might be, we might end up having some redundancy here. Okay, so we're gonna have some kind of loop counter. And then at some point, we might get stuck in this a number of times that's greater than 3. And then in that case, I need more room in here. Uh-oh, no, but you just move this. You just move this and it does it for you, bro. Come on. Don't be dumb. Okay. Also, I don't like you being attached where you're attached. I did this to you. There we go. No. Oh. What the hell? Had an extra arrow point. Okay. So if this loop count gets over 3, then what we want to do is we want to like jump. We want to like jump over our obstacle. Maybe I should just say like pass obstacle. And again, we're going to like, we're using fucking Pokemon sprites for all of this. So the animation is going to be like when the player jumps off of a like raised hill. It's just going to be like your sprite is like whoop. Like very simple. Okay. And so then you're going to pass the obstacle. And then reset the cap. Oh, okay, hold on. So what do we do something like this? There's like 5 ways I can screw this up. There's like 5 different ways to do this, and only one of them is going to not cause a problem. I'm probably going to set it up like this and then realize that in some situation there's a problem. So we're fatigued. We need to sleep. So yes, we're fatigued. Are we at our nest? No, we're not. Have we been in this loop more than 3 times? Let's say no, and then we try to go to our source, but we're still not there. We go through no, we try to go to our nest, still not there. Go through no one more time, still don't make it. We were stuck on a boulder. Then we get back to here where our loop count is finally greater than 3. We've been through here more than 3 times. This is the 4th. So then we would say yes. Then we would try to pass the obstacle. There's a boulder in our way. And then do we try to go to source, or do we just restart? So maybe we want to pass obstacle and reset the loop counter. Oh, come no, you could just be 1 line. Just be 1 line. Thank you. And then at that point just loop back. Oh. Hold on. Could we can just add into this? How do No, I just want to be part of this arrow. Okay, hold on. We'll just make them overlap like that, I guess. I don't know. This is definitely the wrong way to represent this. It makes sense, but there's probably a nicer way to draw that. God, there definitely is. Oh. Okay, so then this would cover lots of different situations, like let's say they fail to pass the obstacle, then they can get the loop counter back up and try again. If there were multiple obstacles, you would see the Rattata like going toward its nest, getting stuck on the first boulder. There's no other way around it. Then it's going to jump over that. Then it's going to keep trying to go to its nest. It's going to get stuck on another boulder. The loop counter is going to get up past 3 again. Then he's going to jump over that. Then go back into reset the loop counter, go back into this whole thing, and eventually he should finally get to the source, which would mean finally are we at source? Yes, and he would sleep. Okay. Dear God. It's crazy how this is composed of the most simple, like, yes or no questions, and conceptualizing it is still so fucking confusing. Oh my God. Okay, so then the question is, well, do we need to add that kind of logic to these? Or do we want to do something else? Like really, animals are some kind of mix of knowing, like some animals just know where water sources are, and they always go back to those sources. Like my cats fucking clearly, they know where water is in the house. If their water bowl is empty, like they have a fucking preferred water bowl, and we joke about it, like that water's got to be better tasting than the other water because they both just like go to that fucking one. If that one's empty, they'll go to a different one. So, like, animals are definitely, like, some combination of knowledge of where water sources are but then also the ability to be like, well, this water source doesn't work out, so I could go to a different one. So, honestly, I could just try and design... I could just try and design environments so that actually these loop counts are never necessary. If paths are always... oh, shit. God. If paths are always the right width, like if there's 2 boulders in an area and you make the pathway 3 squares wide, then the player could never fully block a path. Oh, I guess if 2 boulders and then their body could block it. Ooh. Okay. And you know what? It's kind of fun. Like it's fun to have a sandbox where in a game where it's kind of fun to screw around. You're about done, sweet Dirk. So maybe having these loop checks is the right thing to do. So then essentially I have to decide, do I just essentially have like a spreadsheet with all the water sources in an area, and the Raticate can do a quick check of like which is the closest one? That's what I'm going to go for. Okay, I can't get to that one, but this isn't my den that's only got one location. This is a water that I'm looking for, and I'll go to the second closest one. And that's just some math to do compared to you compare the XY coordinates of the Raticate and the XY coordinates of the water sources. Do a little distance calculation to figure out which one's closest. Okay, Dirk has his situation. All right, oh my god, Dirk, yours looks so nice. Oh my god. Okay, I don't see any bad words or anything. Go for it. Okay. How about there? Yeah, Imgur. All right. Okay. I'll potentially have to move my face cam, but so let's see. So Dirk is saying you would idle for a short period, which I think I don't know how important this is, right? Like we could just have the behavior tree ticking every so often. If the because like we talked about, you're stuck in one of these running, and if you're not, then you should be free to ask yourself, are my base needs stated? You messed up the 80% checks. Okay, let's go through it. We'll get there. We'll get there. Oh, you used pluses and minuses, not yes and no. Oh my god, you added boredom. I don't think we need to do that. That is a fun idea. But I think like they should just all try to play if they can. If there's another Raticate nearby that's also idle, they should just have a cute little fake fight or something. Oh my god, that would be interesting to have them actually engage in combat. That would be interesting to be like you're traveling through some like dangerous mountain area and you find like a fucking Charizard fighting with another Charizard. But yeah, I think we should just stick with fatigue, thirst, and hunger. But then let's go with this. So if boredom's above 50, then oh, this only has a minus, this one doesn't have a plus. So then we'll assume this one is plus. Is family. Yeah, I think I want it to be like is friend or family or something. Like I want there to be, and maybe we don't need this, but I want there to be the potential for like cross-species play if they don't hunt each other. Like maybe there's some kind of room for constructive collaboration across species, because the whole idea of this is to twist evolution in a way that's like everybody's highly cooperative. Even let's make basic functions first. You can always expand. Oh yeah. This is the most basic I can think of, you know. But yeah, we're just talking about ideas. So let's look at the fatigue and thirst and hunger ones. So if base needs aren't sated, then you're comparing needs. Returns the highest need. If two of the same returns random. So I think we should have a hierarchy. I don't think it should be random. I think it should always be like fatigue takes the greatest priority, because if Eradicate can't defend itself, it should be like, you know what? I should go rest a little bit. And to be clear, if something's hunger meter gets to max and like it doesn't eat for a while, like it's not gonna die. We're not gonna go that far and have them die from starvation. Like it will just, as soon as possible, it will meet that need. Okay, so you're saying compare needs, then figure out which one it is. And so then like if fatigue is the highest need, then you're specifically asking, is fatigue over 80? And then what is the purpose of the box? Is that's reset. That's like reset. And so then really this should be, if fatigue is over 80, are you at the source of it? If no, walk to the source of it. Then ask again, are you at the source? If no, walk to it. If yes, finally, use that thing, then check if fatigue is over 80 again. And then that was something that I had kind of already touched on, that like, do we want these needs to be satisfied in little chunks? Like, will the Eradicate rest for a little bit and then go deal with its other problems, even though it's still a little bit fatigued? Or does it completely solve its fatigue problem? I'm still not totally sure about that. And I guess what we could do is just, it would create a more dynamic world if they're satisfying their needs in little chunks. So then you would potentially see Eradicate that goes and rests, and then it's a little bit less tired, but now it's very hungry. So it goes and eats, and it doesn't eat until it's fully satisfied. It eats until it's like, okay, well, actually now I'm mostly thirsty, so I'm gonna go drink. And now, okay, I'm still pretty hungry, so I'll come back and eat. You can make it Booleans if fully sated. Okay, so I know a Boolean is a thing that's like either yes or no. I don't know if it needs to be set up that way. Because... shit, is it Boolean or is it Boolean? I can never fucking remember. Because, like, I feel like it's absolutely fair to just... like, the way that this is set up makes sense. Like, essentially this is saying, are you really tired? If you are, deal with it. Go to the place where you can deal with it. Once you're at the place, deal with it. Then check again, am I still really fucking tired? And if not, then restart. I don't think it needs to be more complicated than that. You're just an illiterate buffoon. Oh my god. Derg, you're fine. You're fine. So okay, other than the way that Derg's is set up, like, Derg, this is clearly much more, like, it just looks nice compared to my nonsense. But the way that a behavior tree works, I don't think you have to format it like this. I don't think you have to tell it to go back to the beginning. I think it just does that. You just have experience in Miro, yeah, for sure. Like, it seems like you drew like one kind of nice one and then just clearly copy pasted it. A little bit of manual setup then leads to a lot of nice automated looking setup, for sure. Oh my god, oh my, this is just like sad. It's so embarrassing. All my little arrows are like, nobody's straight. Oh my god. So I obviously I need to double check, do research, figure this out. But I think, Derg, I think the way that behavior trees are set up, you don't have to actually say, like, go back to the beginning, because they automatically do. The whole idea is that, like, every fucking, like, tick, it starts back at the top and tries to run through it unless it's doing something currently. And like, that is the power of them, because they're always going off. Then they can solve complex behavioral situations in a simple way because they're constantly repeating. And so, God, maybe it's a bad idea for performance to constantly be checking. Okay, they do. Okay. So then I think... Oh, I guess... Well, okay, wait. So let me go back and look at yours. They have return points once they fail. So then I guess this is just you, like, representing that, essentially. Because this would be, once this would fail by being a no. Okay. So then... is this okay the way it's set up? I feel like... You'll always know there's an exit. Yeah, I guess it might be good to write it like that. In my head, I was thinking, like, since behavior trees are like that, that's just something I need to, like, understand about making them. But I don't think it would be that bad to visually represent that. And actually, a good point, I'm, like, looking at this right here and thinking, like, okay, but how does this actually end properly? Can we just make one need first? Well, I am trying. That is, I'm trying to right now to figure this out, to see if this would be okay. So let's say we're fatigued. We go into here. Let me zoom in. So if we ask ourselves, are we at our nest? And then let's say, no, we're not. And then we're going to go through this situation where if this is one of our first few times through the loop count is not above 3. So we go to no, and then we try to go to the source. And then we're going to come back to here. And we're going to repeat that until we get to our source. Or until we end up going through this loop too many times, in which case we're going to try to, like, jump over an obstacle and reset the loop counter, and then go back to here and continue trying. And maybe eventually we get to our nest. Not maybe, no, definitely. If we don't, I have a bug I need to fix, because that's the fucking point of this. And so then yes, and then we sleep. And then this is finally the point at which we would return back to the top, right? Like this, well, this is the point where we're done. This is where the tree terminates. There is no way, once you decide you're fatigued, once you decide yes, there's no way for this tree to terminate except by sleeping. That seems reasonable, right? Oh my god. I feel like I'm missing something, but I think that makes sense. So then it's going to end. This is going to be busy until sleep is done being used. And then the behavior tree is going to go again. Or if you need to satisfy another need. Well, yeah, I was saying if once we get to this yes, it goes through here until sleep is done. Right? Like once we choose yes at this junction, then there's nothing for us to do except finally sleep. There's nothing for us to end on. We're going to be in this infinite loop of getting to where we can sleep until we finally sleep. And then finally we're like, okay, behavior tree, we're done. Now you can go back to the top and see what other needs do you have. Ask about fatigue again. You're probably not fatigued anymore. Hunger or thirst is probably more important. If anything, obviously the answer could be no, or could be yes, that all of our needs are met, in which case we're just gonna play. Yeah, that would be an ending in success. Yeah. Success 5 stars, oh my god. I hope our Eradicate Den is 5-star quality. And so then we're gonna go back through, and we would have, if we have a need that needs to be met, it's not gonna be fatigue, so we would say no here, and then we're gonna check on our hunger or thirst. But actually, let's talk about this again. Because I'm still undecided, and I feel like I just need to decide. Do we just have them satisfy their need fully? I feel like I should decide with each need how much it gets satisfied. Like if Eradicate's tired, maybe he'll go sleep and he'll take off 40 points of fatigue. Like a big chunk of fatigue, right? Because if you're gonna sleep, it's gonna be for a little while. But if you go to satisfy your hunger, since he eats like berries, maybe he'll eat 1 or 2 berries, and that'll only take 20 off of his hunger meter, which again, we've kind of been saying goes from like 0 to 100. And so he might just decide to eat again right away. Like he'll eat once, take 20 points off, and then we're gonna go back to the start of the tree. And then maybe fatigue is his biggest problem. Maybe it's still hunger. Or maybe fatigue is satisfied, hunger is satisfied, so we would go to no, where we're going to satisfy thirst. The way the tree is set up, it will return to his fatigue. It'll return to the fatigue thing? Not the top, for real? They don't just automatically restart? Shoot. So like so wait, they go to the parent tree? Oh my god. Oh my god. I just need to relearn about behavior trees. So Dirk, let's say you're right and they just go back to the parent. Then it's called backtracking. Damn it. Okay. I mean, that's easy enough to solve, right? Because then for each of these, we just essentially do what you had done, where like we send it back to start, right? Like I'm just gonna make these weird arrows. And then at some point, like this is just gonna go back to start. Because we don't want to be. Let's say the only need we wanted to satisfy was fatigue, like our first example up here. fatigue 80, hunger 20, thirst 20. We don't want to satisfy that and then end up back in this section. We want to satisfy it and then go all the way back to the beginning. And that seems... I mean, maybe we can just draw that. Let's see. No, I just want to move you. I just want to move you like down to here. And so then what would I do? I would essentially take this guy and put it back at the top. You can just modify the question. Okay, hold on. Let's delete these guys. How would I modify it in a way that would make sense? Because essentially, I want it to be this question, but I need this question to have a yes or no fork off of it. Doesn't it just make more sense to just send it back to the top? I feel like it's fine, right? Like we could just, you go to sleep and then restart the whole tree. Restart that bitch. Or, I mean, I guess if it goes back up to here, we could also just, like, obviously I want to do whatever will give me the best performance. Whatever is most performant is what I want to do. And I would think this would be okay, but if we needed to achieve this, we could, I think I understand that we could just modify the question, because so right here we have a final no, but right here we could say, is thirst greater than 50%? And if the answer to that was no, then we could just be like, okay, then actually just go back to the beginning. So then the situation would be, if we have any needs to fulfill, we're kind of running around in this area. We're starting here, doing what we need here, then we come back up to here, then going on to the next one, doing what we need here, coming back up to here, going on to the next one, doing what we need, coming back up, and then finally there would be a final no that sends us back to the beginning. But I feel like this will be okay. And if not, I can see you're being an anxious voice. Stop listening to you. It's okay, man. No, this is fine. This is like this is just like we're just talking it out, you know? This is like you go to some college classes and it's like a structured lecture where you're like taking notes like mad, and then there's like some classes that's like a lab where just the teacher's like, okay, how would we solve this problem? Let's just like, we got like 3 hours to do like 2 hours of work. Let's just chit chat. Let's just talk our way through it. Like, this is how you actually solve problems in real life. You fucking think it through and you talk it through with people. It's fine. We're fine. So put yourself in hustle, so you must do at least a tidbit of stuff for your game each day. Honestly, I am like internally, I'm like languishing with that. I'm like so mad at myself every day that I don't work on things. And like my life is highly structured, so it's very easy for me to just like go with the flow of my life. And also, not only is it highly structured, but like I'm always behind on house chores, and there's always a room that needs vacuuming, a floor that needs mopping. So like I will regularly do that stuff, and then I'm like, damn it, like, you know, maybe I should have fucking worked on shit. Although this week I've kind of given myself a break because my fucking arms have been dying. But Dirk, that's a good mindset to have, and I'm trying to find a way to trick myself into also having that mindset while not making myself unhappy or failing to do the other things I need to do. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. I need to put more regular effort into this. Especially the just having Godot open and just like fucking around with code in Godot. I've been messing around with the functions to try and make Raticate go to the target it needs to go to. The Google Sheet with 5 stars out of 7 days. What now? Explain yourself, Dirk. What do you mean? You mean like 5 days out of 7? You like make time to do stuff? I don't know. There's lots of solutions. I fucking don't do it. Okay, yeah, like you have to do something 5 out of the 7 days. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Yeah, even if I just force myself to open Godot, I usually end up like fucking around with something here or there. And at least getting a little bit of, even if I don't get something tangible done, I get like some knowledge about how things work. Like it seems like the way that I'm going to handle a lot of this is a function. There's a function in Godot that's just like move to. You just like, you essentially tell it like, take this Raticate and move the Raticate toward this other object. And then it's going to be all about getting that to work with the nav meshes that I now know how to make, and choosing the correct target to get to. Put Godot on auto start with a PC. Well, the problem with that is I leave my PC shuts down like once a week. Like on the weekend, I try to like update and close everything, but otherwise I'm just like, I just sleep it. Although I could probably just leave Godot open. My, the processor that I bought, was quite an upgrade over the old one, and it's great at multitasking. The only thing it gets mad about is if I'm trying to turn a stream into a YouTube video, which is very processor intensive. It's like not happy with me doing anything else. It'll let me, compared to my old processor, which just like wouldn't. You try to do anything and it's like, okay, you can open Chrome in 30 seconds. My current processor is like, okay, I'll do it in like 2 seconds, man. All right, it's gonna be slow and weird, but I'll do it. So yeah, I could probably just leave Godot open. It's oh man, it's just like I need to force myself to do it. And it's fucking difficult. I'm an excuse machine, you know? I'm a self-loathing and self-excusing machine, and there is just like a vicious cycle. I loathe myself for excusing myself, and I excuse myself because I loathe myself. I'll get there though. The being stuck in that loop, it's clearly like because I'm like, I want to make a thing. I want to create some fucking art. I'm only here for so many years and I want to make something cool. And like, so like, that's where it comes from. I know it comes from a good place. So like, I'm going to figure it out. You'll allow me to self-load. Thank you, Dirk. I appreciate it. Oh shit. Okay. That was a long tangent. So let me talk this through, because so I mentioned this before, the difference between getting food or getting water compared to going to your nest is that there's only one nest. But food or water, you can self-load while you work. Ooh. I don't know if I'm that good at multitasking, but that would be fucking sweet. That sounds like the thing to do. Damn. I'll just have to get good at it. So food has multiple sources. So instead of going to a source, well, so yeah, maybe this should be like So we could either call it like, we could say like go to closest source or go to best source. Closest source would be easiest. That's like some simple fucking math. Best source would be interesting because I think it would have the greatest chance of success. And like, what do I mean? Like, let's say there's a berry bush close to Raticate, but there's like 4 other Raticates there, right? Like, they're gonna eat all the berries. You might not get enough berries to fill yourself up if you're a hungry Raticate and you go to the spot that's closest but doesn't have a lot of food. So instead, maybe you go to the berry bushes that are down the road, but like there's like 20 of them, and you fucking know no matter how many Raticates are there, you're gonna get some snacks. But I don't. That might be like that's more math, and it might be unnecessary. So like we could just do a go to closest source, but then we need to think about if that fails. So like, let's say in the time between, let's say you're a hungry Raticate, you're not at your source, and you find a close source to go get some food, but then before you get there, a bunch of other motherfuckers eat the food. So then you need to find a new source. Ooh, closest full source is interesting. And that would be less likely to fail, but it could still fail. So okay, hold on. So I think we would modify over here, right? So what you would do is you would try to go to the closest source. Then you would loop back to here and be like, am I at the source? If not, okay, try again. Keep heading toward the source. Then once you get to that source, you would actually need to check, like, is there food? Like, can eat? Right, you'd actually need to check to see, like, is there fucking food? And then, no, not yet. Hold on. So then, if the answer to that is yes, then you can eat. And then boom, then you ate. But yeah, if the answer is no, where's the... Why do you don't want to match this guy? Oh, we're further down. There we go. Okay. This is so easy to use, and I'm still messing it up. Oh shit. Okay, so then if the answer's no, you would, like, what would you do? You'd find like, the next closest source. Or, okay, maybe, no, you would find... Okay, wait, hold on. No, okay, reconceptualizing this. How about you go to closest... And actually, Durg, I like your idea. I like, you'll go to the closest full source. And then, what if there is no source? Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Let's deal with that terrible question in just a moment, because I think this is kind of solved. Because so let's say you're a Raticate, you go to eat some food, but then some other motherfuckers eat all your food before you get there. So then you just do the check again. You just check for you just check for the closest source again. You check for a spot that actually has some food. It's not going to be the spot you're at. And then you go toward that one. And like, hopefully there's an abundance of food, and eventually even the slowest, oldest, saddest Raticate will find himself some berries if he just keeps going to the closest one. Eventually everybody will eat and he'll get his share and he'll be fine. But now we need to deal with Durg's point, which is what if there is no source? Which I want to just say won't happen, but it might. Ooh, okay. So sure, yeah, sure, Durg, you would explore, and so then I think we need to talk about how we conceptualize Raticate's understanding of full sources. Because for the sake of simplicity, we could just have it so that Raticate knows where every berry bush in the region is. And like for the sake of simplicity, so like think of this like a Pokemon game. Like at the beginning of Pokemon, you go up to like, I think it's like Route 2. You like leave your hometown and you go up to Route 2 after you got your first Pokemon. And like that route has certain Pokemon on it, right? Like those Pokemon can't leave that area. So I think we need to think about my game, Scribe, having areas like that, and they might be larger. They'll definitely be larger than a Pokemon route, but a certain amount of space that Raticate won't leave, no matter what. Maybe it's an island, maybe it's like a rocky beach area, maybe it's a beach connected to a meadow that connects to like a mountain path. Like Raticate's only willing to go so far away from the place he can make his dens, the place that his food would grow normally. He's not going to go halfway across the world map to find a new source. So with that in mind, do we just have Raticate know where every single berry bush is? Like, there's just a table, there's got to be a table somewhere that has where all the bushes are. Do we just have Raticate know? Or does he only know about the berry bushes that are within a certain range of him? Like we conceptualize his sense of smell as meaning that he only knows about berry bushes that are within 100 tiles of him. He can know where bushes are, but he can't judge the fullness at range? Or he can judge, because that would be a weird place to use but those, okay, so those are interesting things to talk about though. Like, he could know where all the bushes are, but only know their fullness when they're within his scent range, right? Because I would think a creature that's led by smell, like certain smells are very strong. Like when I open beef jerky, my fucking cats lose their mind. They can be sleeping soundly, and then they're like, holy shit, what's going on? Where is that thing? I want it. Even if they like just ate normal cat food, they're like, oh my god. So they have some level of like a strong smell would let you know like there's a lot of berries. How much simulation do I want? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of, because it's like the point of the game is, if I can get away with the appearance of a simulation and not actually having a simulation, that's what I want, because that's easier, right? So I think I'm okay with the idea. I think I'm okay with the idea of Raticate just knowing. Every Raticate just knows where all the berry bushes are. And okay, wait, maybe not. It would be very cute to have a Raticate like walk around in circles, like sniffing and then choosing a destination to go to. So what would be the easiest way to kind of have him decide where to go? So maybe maybe what we need to do is change the way that this is structured. And you have to do it in vision part. The player will judge by what he sees. Yeah, exactly. It's like you want the player to think there's a simulation, essentially. That you want them to feel as though this is a living, breathing world, even if that's not necessarily true. Or yeah, sure, if things could just be randomly decided. So I'm kind of thinking maybe the process for Raticate weighted random by fitness. Okay, yeah, I think that's kind of the idea that I'm thinking. So let's say that Raticate's hungry and he wants to decide where to go to get food. We could have Raticate know, like he'll have access to a spreadsheet that is, or I guess an array, that is the location of all of the berry trees. And we could kind of have this action, the action of him like going to the source. Instead, well, okay. If he's at a source, he could just eat food there, right? If he gets hungry and he's right next to a berry bush, fine. But when he wants to go to the closest source, maybe we could say he's going to go to like the best source, and this could be an action where he kind of like walks around and like sniffs. And while he's doing that, we run a quick calculation to find like a good density, like the highest density of berries in the area. So like, ooh, and bringing in the idea of like a radius around the nest would be interesting. So we come up with a formula, and that formula is going to decide, the end result of the formula is choose a bush to send Raticate to. And to figure that bush out, it should essentially be like, which one of these bushes gets the most number of points from like a formula. Each one will be tested for a formula for being like the best. And I think that formula should take into account how close the bushes are to Raticate. So we'll say, I think I'll actually kind of describe this. Close and dense. So, oh God, you do have to take your cake? It waits for you for 45 minutes. Wait, hold on. Dirk, did you bake a cake and you forgot about it? Bruh. Set timers. When you get old, you'll be thankful when you finally learn to set timers for things. Just fucking set timers. Go deal with your shit. I'm gonna talk this through though. So, no, it's just a piece of cake and it's lonely in the kitchen. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Oh my God. Today has been very entertaining. Dirk, I appreciate you and Teamworm. We were not focused on our subject as well as we could have been, but this has been very, I don't know, relaxing, cathartic, nice. It's been nice to just have a bunch of silly bullshit happen. So anyway, go get your cake. I'm gonna fucking think about this. So I think it makes sense that we would define best by some criteria that involves how close the berry bush is and how many other berries are like around it. Maybe in like within 2 tile spaces or 3 tile spaces away from it. So the idea would be, if there is the idea is going to be that the Raticate walks in a circle and he's just like sniffing, he's smelling, and if there's a good amount of berries close by, that's going to smell like really enticing, because not only are they close, but there's a lot of them. And maybe they'd smell more enticing than a spot that has even more berries, but it's further away, because the distance becomes a problem, and his sense of smell, it like all things, it gets reduced by distance, right? The closer you are to something, the easier it is to smell it. If I made a cake, Dirk Glover's not gonna smell it in the Ukraine, but Crazy Pants, who lives with me, would probably smell it. So fucking distance and the quantity of the thing should be involved. And so then the idea would be that the Raticate is going to identify a spot that it wants to go to that is like prime. And then a good part about that is going to be that will allow me to create a situation where if there's like 5 Raticate and they were all drinking some water, because there's only like 1 water source or something, and they're all hungry, they won't all go to the one bush that's right next to them that has like a few berries. Hopefully, even if they all go to the same spot, they'll identify a place that is relatively close, but also like fucking dense with berries. And so that sounds most reasonable to me. That they'll essentially, like, this will be a little action where they walk in a circle, and you'll just have to imagine they're sniffing. I'll try to make a good like animation of it, but I'm not gonna like draw sprites for it. I'm gonna use the Raticate overworld sprite, which is just very simple. But then when I actually make my own art, which we will do, hopefully soon, we'll have like a cute little, like his little whiskers will twitch or something. I don't know. We'll come up with something cute. And then obviously we're gonna replace Raticate with some other kind of creature, which is also a thing we need to come up with. A bunch of fun symbiotes, which are my Pokemon stand-ins. But they're cooler. They're way cooler. Because they actually want to fight. And some of them might not, and they'll tell you that. But then the ones that do, like they'll be happy to fight. And the ones that don't, if they like you enough, they'll be like, yeah, I'll fight with you. I'll fight for you. And if not, I don't know. I'll come up with some cute little like mini game simulation. Like they can be stored in your PC, but like, how do they like grow your crops or something? Catch a Raticate, and he's like, I just want to grow wheat for you, dude. And you like, okay, you could grow wheat for me. And then a few cycles later, he's like, you're cool, man. Thanks for letting me grow wheat. I could fight with you if you want. Let's go fight some stuff. Anyway. So Raticate identifies the best source to him. From where he's standing, each different Raticate would identify a different best source because of their physical position, which would change the distance they are to all the other berry bushes. And so to do that, we're going to have to calculate the distance they are from bushes. That's easy. Density is going to be a weird thing, and I think I'm going to have to just fine tune this. I'm going to have to just watch it in action to decide like how much should density matter? How big of an area should density count in? Like is it going to be like Minesweeper? We only count the tiles surrounding it? Do we go the tiles surrounding it? 1 tile away, 2 tiles away? And then just count up all of those berries. And then we're going to need to like have some kind of multiplier that then gets put into the equation to determine how that plus the distance will add together to decide what specific bush. Because there's always going to be the answer will always be 1 bush. That doesn't really make sense. I think really Raticate would be like, oh, I'm going east or I'm going northeast because there's a strong smell that way. What we're going to do is each bush will have its own calculation, and then the result will be the Raticate chooses one specific bush that he's going to try to go after. And then he's gonna fucking head to that, right? He's going to go toward that thing. Then we're gonna say, okay, now that new thing is your source, are you at it? If yes, then check to see if you can eat it. If you can't eat it, then you're gonna need to find out what the new best source is and go to it. And then we're gonna repeat this until hopefully, finally, you do eat. Great. Okay. But now getting back to the thing Dirk mentioned, what if there's no source? What if in the entire region, all the Raticate eat all the berries? What could I do? We could have the Raticate starve. I did specifically say I don't want to do that, and I feel pretty confidently like I don't want to do that. Then we wait. Yeah, so that's an interesting idea. So we could just have them wait until berries regenerate. Ooh, at the bush. Oh my god. Okay, so now I'm imagining that could be a problem because this will only occur if there's too many Raticates eating too many berries, right? Or substitute Raticate and berries with if there's any symbiote eating too much of its food source. So then you're going to just have a bunch of hungry Raticates all like standing around fucking waiting for food. And that's going to be really awkward. So maybe I need to kind of fudge this and have a mechanism to like make more berries? Or this fixes itself by having less Raticate. Huh. Raticate McDonald's. Oh my god. So okay, so nature would handle this. I'll bet they go to sleep and use some stored food. Ooh. Okay, that's an interesting idea. And then the player would never see that because currently the idea is they can't go inside of dens. So okay. So that makes sense. And what I had planned is Raticate will die. They're gonna die. They might die in combat, so they might get like hunted by something. And if a creature, like if a Pidgeotto hunts a Raticate, that's gonna result in like an actual fight. And currently the way I'm conceptualizing it is like Baldur's Gate 3, or really other games like it. Every game I'm thinking of are games made by the same company, so that's kind of unfair. But so we'll just talk about Baldur's Gate 3. It's real time. You're walking around in real time, but then if you start a fight or you get close enough to a fight, the game shifts into turn-based mode. And like usually like your character like says something and like draws their weapons because they're like, oh shit, there's like a fight. We can't just be in regular live flow because the combat, this is not an action game. The combat happens turn-based in a different sort of format. It goes into a turn-based mode. You have access to your abilities and things. You have access to your abilities and things in real-time mode, but like everything is happening. Like characters are walking around, time is moving forward. When you go into turn-based mode, you can move through all your menus and things, and time is paused. So the way that I'm seeing like Raticate dying is that it gets hunted by a Pidgeotto, and then they go into like combat. And if you the player get close to them, you'll get pulled into combat too. And then maybe the Pidgeotto and the Raticate decide like, oh, we should run away because the player is a threat, or not, or the Pidgeotto is very hungry, and it keeps attacking the Raticate to try and defeat the Raticate and eat some of it and then leave. But I want Raticate to die through combat, as if they're like being hunted. But we could have a situation where they team up against the player. Holy shit, that's fucking fun. That's fucking hilarious. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna add that to the notes. I need some fucking situation where that's the case. Oh my god. Because that's a really fun thing about Baldur's Gate is there are some fights you can come into where one of the parties is neutral to you. And if you don't hurt them, they will consider you allies or at the very least not a threat for the fight. But if you smack one of them by accident, they're like, nah, it's fucking on now. Like, we didn't trust you, but we weren't aggressive toward you. But like now it's everybody against everybody. And I think that will be a pretty common thing. But holy shit, I love the idea of you interrupting a predator hunting prey, and then they're both like, motherfucker, like fuck you. It's 2-on-1 now. Holy shit. Okay, so anyway, I want Raticate to be defeated by being hunted, but if there's some kind of like food shortage issue, I think because a part of what I want is for Raticate to naturally be making little Rattatas, who will then like emerge to Raticate, go inside a den, and then eventually a Rattata comes out along with the Raticate. Well, I guess the Raticate might come out first for a while, and then eventually like a Rattata will emerge from the den, like, oh, they had babies and now he's old. The Rattata's old enough to come out and learn to be a Rattata and then evolve into a Raticate. So I want to keep having new generations, and my initial thought was like, you just have a new Rattata for every Raticate that gets hunted to keep things like balanced. But because I want this to be like a simulation, maybe a smarter thing to do would be like Rattata are born only if there's enough food. So like the game checks to see like, is there an abundance of food? Then if yes, okay, then new Rattata can be born. And if there's not enough food, then maybe we don't need to have Raticate die of old age. The whole thing I got to with this is, the way I got here is, if we're limited on food, do I have Raticates just like go into their dens and never come out like they died of old age, and then that solves the problem? I think the better thing to do would be you stop making new Rattatas, and then you let some of the Raticate get hunted, and then there's less Raticate eating the berries, and the berries naturally regenerate, and then eventually babies will be born again. So the den will have to have an amount of food resource. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Do I actually go through the trouble of doing that? Or do we just kind of assume because this is hidden, we don't do anything with it? It is kind of fun. It is kind of fun to think about Raticate like bringing food back to its den. Like that's a pretty cute idea. Well, yeah, Dirk, this is definitely like a long-term thing to think about. And it's not part of this initial tree, right? Because this initial tree is like we don't even have the simulation actually set up. We don't even have, like, we're gonna have a berry bush with infinite berries at the beginning of this. But rather than making a note about this, I would rather like talk this through and think it through as it comes up. So I think a cool thing to do would be like, you, the player, when you defeat Raticate, whether you catch it or whether you just essentially kill it and send it to the spirit world, you might find berries on its body, which would imply that Raticates don't just eat berries, but they save a few, maybe in their little cheeks. Maybe they're like squirrels, I don't know, and they'll bring it back to their den, and then that kind of helps imply like, oh, that's how little baby Rattata would get food, or how the mother Rattata would eat food while not coming out. They have like a store of food in their nest. Systems like this will give a window where you actually don't start making new sims immediately when enough of the old sims are hunted. Yeah, definitely. It is essentially needs to be like, don't make any new sims. There's not enough food. Okay, now there's enough food. So now you can start the process of like making new Rattatas, but that itself would take a long time. You can just make the check at the end of the day and drop den food mechanics. Yeah, I think that's the thing to do. And then maybe we would in the future, like if we were doing later game stuff, like I'm envisioning in later game, there's going to be fewer creatures like Raticate in late game areas and more creatures like Ursa Ring, like a giant fucking bear, a giant dragon. Like their dens you'd probably be able to go into. And so maybe we would make a cute little system animation for them, like stockpiling food or something like that. But I think the basic idea is going to be that it's just implied and that we consider it, but we don't ever actually show it to the player for most symbiotes, and we don't actually do kinds of calculations for it. It's just kind of, it's there as kind of make-believe, as an explanation, and you can kind of see hints of it, like I said, if you defeat Eradicate, and then you find food on them. So that was a good thing to talk through, and that will be part of our final behavior tree. But I think for now, we're going to assume we can narrate it in code. In the codex, oh my god. The idea of narrating something through code sounds very cool. Like it sounds like you're explaining a story through the way that your code works. That sounds fucking cool. But yeah, we could definitely have a I don't know, like a thing that is like a Pokedex, essentially, because a big part of this game is you, the player, are a scribe. You will be recording these kinds of information. You'll be recording important information, things other people haven't written down, because the idea is that like you will be the first in a long line of people who are going to need this information, and you are like going and collecting it from people who like societies like that don't use writing as heavily, and there is a reason for that. They're like more focused on like oral traditions and things because of problems that have happened in their history. But then like you are trying to convince them like these things need to be written down because of this problem that is going to be coming in the future, and please help me, give me information. I'll go out and see information. I'll collect all of this stuff. And then I'll have a nice codex with information about how elements work in the game, how symbiotes work, their habits, things that are important for gameplay, but also things that just build the background lore. The thing I said is ludonarrative resonance. Well, I think I had said dissonance, and then I think either you or Team Worm mentioned resonance. But yeah, definitely the opposite is a cool idea. I always hear people talk about dissonance, but the idea of ludonarrative resonance is definitely what I'm getting at here. You want the gameplay structure to reinforce both the narrative and the theme, for sure. For sure. Okay, so I only have a little bit more time, but I think we can at least finish this, and then next week is gonna just be like bumbling through trying to get this to function. It was a funny 3 hours. It was. And still relatively productive. Like this is essentially what I expected to get done. So I want to finish the water one, and I think we're just gonna adjust the water one to be just like the food one. You're gonna identify a best source. So you know, actually, yeah, let's just delete that, and we're just gonna copy this. You're gonna identify a best source of water, and go for that. And that will involve closeness and size of the water. Probably closeness will matter more, but size should still matter a little bit. And so then we just need to change this to drink. And we need to change this to... Oh, shoot, no, it should be water. Are we at our water source? and then go to closest best source. This should be canned drink. Like maybe you get there and there's water, but there's Raticate all around it, and other animals too. The watering hole's full. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I think this is our fucking behavior tree. For our like very first creature. It depends on how my arms feel over the week, but I'm gonna try really fucking hard to at least do research and maybe do a little like play around a little bit with coding some commands, so that we can jump in quickly. I won't actually like finish any of this. My plan is to mess around and get an understanding, hopefully, of all the things I need to do for this. I'm gonna look over this over the week and try to conceptualize like essentially this. Yeah, it's visible. The behave version of it, the taking it from regular language, putting it into this situation like sleep selector and sleep action, and then also trying to figure out the commands or functions that I'll need to go along with that, and then mess around with how they work. And then next stream we'll get into actually trying to enact them so that we can just like the goal will be Firefox, go away. The goal will be like to click play and to just have Raticate start with some fatigue, some hunger, some thirst, and we'll mess around with those. We'll set them at specific things and then run the game and see if hopefully he goes and eats when he's hungry, he goes and drinks when he's thirsty, and he goes and disappears into his den for a little bit when he's tired. And then maybe we'll randomize some. We'll do some like random ones. We'll set it up so it just chooses some random values for those. But that's gonna take like 3 or 4 streams, I think. But yeah, that should be fucking good. This was nice. I feel like I kind of have a handle on this. This seems like it makes sense. I feel like somebody shoot Bob Joe Pie or who was the other guy? There was a different Captain Fubar. They both seem to know Godot better, so maybe one of them will stop by and be like, "This shit makes no sense, buddy." And if not, then we'll change it and figure it out. If anybody's watching this on YouTube and you know Godot better than me, and there's any reason that this doesn't make sense, fucking hit me with a comment. Yeah, I don't know. This was fucking good. This was a good day. Once I set it up for Rattata, I can reuse the stuff for others with minimal changes. Yeah, that's definitely the value of a behavior tree, as far as I understand it. And like I said, we're gonna have to do some serious tweaking when we get to like end game situations where you're running into huge creatures, and especially also for creatures that hunt. That's gonna be kind of difficult. But I think when we figure out play, hunt will just be a slight variation of play. Play will be Raticate identifies another Raticate and they just kind of do a little fake fight. Hunt is going to be like a Pidgeotto identifies a Raticate and then goes to it, and if it catches it, then they engage in combat. And maybe the Raticate can win. Maybe we gotta figure out a way for Pidgeys to sometimes be kind of stupid and they get in over their head and they go after like a high level Raticate who's like, nah, dude, you're fucking done. I'm gonna fuck you up. But yeah, that's. Hunt is create a food source. Yeah, sure. Yeah, but we would modify play. But yeah, you're right. It would go over. It would go over in the hunger zone. It would go in the hunger zone for sure. But yeah, I think if we take this like baby steps, like I think we can get there. I think we can get there. Shit. Yeah. I don't know. Fuck. Thanks for hanging out, dudes. I won't be back tomorrow. I'm going to take the day off. I'm going to stretch. I'm going to exercise my arms. I'm going to chill out. I'll probably do some work on this, but just very, very minimal typing. But yeah, this was fucking great. This was like exactly what I needed today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Dirg, especially. I feel like you're doing the heavy. I feel like you were doing a lot of the heavy lifting for keeping me in the right mental state. But then also we screw around and get distracted, but for sure. Thanks for Miro. Oh my god. Thank you for suggesting Miro, for sure. For sure. So anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching, dudes. Thanks for hanging out. Have a nice day. Take care. I'll see you around.